which I should say. And then I will skip two verse and straight to the verse 9 where Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَنُدْخِلَنَّهُمْ فِي الصَّالِحِينَ. And those who believe with us and do good things, we will put them with the good people. Okay, as a matter of fact, I forget to mention that, in the second verse, Allah mentioned, وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. They will be tested, Yuftanun come from the word fitna. Interestingly, the word yuftanun here also being used to describe about the process of gold being purified. When the gold is being purified under the extreme heat, you're being heated under the extreme temperature to purify the impurities, to remove the impurities, so that we can get the most valuable gold, the pure gold. So the same thing Allah's trying to say to us, that this kind of trial or difficulties that we are facing in our life is actually the process of purifying ourselves so that we can be a better person in the future. And this ayah is actually one of the benefits that Allah trying to say. When we believe in Allah, when we are facing difficulties, we keep our faith, we keep believing in Allah, we keep doing good things, and then Allah will put us among good people. So sometimes we think that all our friends in our real life is actually good for us. But the fact is, not all friends is a good friend. There are toxic people too. So one of the benefits for having difficulties is actually we can identify which one is good people, good person, and which one is not good with us, for us to be with. So this is one of the benefits that I would say, the importance of having trial that Allah mentioned in the Quran. And this is the assurance of Allah, because Allah mentioned in the Quran, and Allah won't lie to us, right? And then in the next two verses, Allah mentioned about وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ. And there's one kind of people, they said that they are believing in Allah, they believe in Allah, but then something happened. When people are hurting them, people are giving them difficult times, they say that, oh no, this is the punishment of Allah, this is the azab of Allah. They blame Allah. They say that, no, this something must be not wrong, something must be wrong with me, with the action that I did. And then they keep blaming Allah. But then on the other times, when the help of Allah comes, when the times become easier, and then they start to say that, oh, I'm the believer. No, that's the situation. When life getting hard, they say that, oh, must be punishment from Allah. And then when life become easy, I believe in Allah fully. There's nothing wrong with my iman suddenly. And Allah said that this is the kind of people who is munafikun, meaning hypocrites. The people of hypocrites. And then the next one, Allah said, وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ. And then Allah said, Allah knows better who is the true believers and who is the munafiqun, the hypocrite. So actually, to sum up a little bit on the first question, I would like to say that the Surah Al-Azab is the best example to explain about the extreme trials, not the trial that will make us feel like we don't have anything to depend on, we feel dejected, we feel emotional, we feel, the extreme test that we could have, the possible extreme test that we could face. And then the only thing that we should realize is that the trial that we face is only for our own benefit. And then the only possible way to deal with this kind of situation is to hold to our iman strongly. That's the only solution that Allah provides. And then we need to keep belief in Allah. Sometimes there are people, when some things goes wrong, they start to blame Allah, and then they start to find other than Islam as their solution. And it is what makes things worse, because I get back to this later, but this is not wrong, because the best way to cater for our problem is to get back to Allah. And interestingly, in this surah also, there are few stories of successful people and unsuccessful people in overcoming the test of Allah. There are stories of Lut, Ibrahim, Noah, where they managed to overcome the obstacles that the trial that Allah has given to them. And then there's also a story of Harun and Qarun, and the story of kaum Ad and Samud, where they fail to overcome the trial that Allah has given to them. So I think the conclusion for this question is that trials is real. Islam is not a real, it's not a religion of fantasy. It does not teach us to live in fantasy. It reveals to us the reality of life, even though it is harsh. When I'm saying that, in our life we are going to face difficulties. Some people would say that it is not right to be negative, but no, the difficulties is there. You need to realize first, because the greatest fear is not knowing what you're going to face. When you don't realize that that you are going to face the difficulties, that you're going to face the trials from Allah, it will make you turn to a wrong path later on. So I hope this answering the question.
MashaAllah. There's I think we should stop here lah. Because you answered. So sorry, Jom. I'm very speechless when I have to look back at the ayah of the Quran, review back to the ayah, and we can see the big picture of our problem that we have faced right in the moment, right? So it's very interesting to talk about this, because trials is common, right, in life. So thank you, Brother Wanta, for the make me speechless with the explanation. So okay, sometimes we like to feel insecure with ourselves. We feel like I'm not good like him lah. Why his CGPA is better than mine? Why she's pretty? Why she's good at anything he does? So actually, this insecurity is will spice up the trial that the challenges that we are facing right in the moment. Will boost the maybe we might say that the insecurity that we feel right now is okay. Let's say we face the challenging right in the moment. So okay, the spice up in the challenges that we are facing right now. What do you think about the insecurity in ourselves and
Thank you, Anisha. I think this question is a very legit and valid question, because I would have to, because personally I would say that I've been in this kind of situation, because I believe everyone also the same. We like to compare ourselves with other people, right? But actually, this question reminds me about one verse from Quran. Allah mentioned, "Walain syakartum la azidannakum, walain kafartum in adabi lasyadid." And this is a very famous Quranic verse, and I believe everyone, most of us know about this. And Allah said, if we are being grateful, then Allah will surely increase further. And if you are not being grateful, and we should realize that the punishment of Allah is extreme and very, very hurtful. And then I think one of the reasons why this is happening is because we look too much at other people's things. Well, in fact, we actually do have a lot of good things. We do have a lot of ni'mat to be counted for. In fact, Allah mentioned in Quran, Allah said, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if we are trying to count the blessing of Allah to us, we are not being able to do so, because the blessing of Allah is too much. But because we tend to look at others people, material especially, that we don't have, and then our heart will never be able to be at peace. And then I think one of the solution to avoid this kind of situation. I know sometimes we accidentally put ourselves into that kind of situation. Me myself have been into that kind of situation a lot, but I think one of the best way to overcome it is by take a step back, and reflect or count what are the good things that we have in our life, what are the good things that we already achieved. And I believe that I would say it's impossible to say that you don't have anything good in your life. It will be ridiculous. It will be nonsense. So I think the best way is to say that you take a step back and we start to list down all the good things that have happened in our life, what are the good things that we have achieved, and then inshallah this will help us to overcome this situation. But I'm not saying that it is normal thing to compare ourselves. I would say that it's human nature to compare ourselves with other people. We cannot deny it, But how we deal with
our blessing, right? So
Yeah.
it's very important for us if we feel insecure with ourselves to others. So how do you stay positive and in the bad times?
Okay. Uh, okay. How to stay positive in the bad time? So I think this question. The question of positivity and negativity is always associated with when bad thing happen to us. When good thing happen, we don't say that you have to be positive in good thing. When you have a lot of wealth, you don't say you have to be positive. Surely you will be positive. But when we say about positivity and negativity, we say when the situation turns wrong, when life getting hard. Our topic today, we talk a lot about positivity, how to achieve positivity, and I think the answer for that is to realize that everything happened according to Allah's plan. And I know it's very cliche, it's very boring, but let me explain it first. All right. So when we talk about bad incident situation, we always refer to the terms of musibah, and I think a lot of people are familiar and even have used the term musibah. But sometimes we don't realize that the term musibah is actually being mentioned in the Quran. There are a few examples in the Quran where Allah mentioned about the musibah, and even the Prophet also the Prophet also being teach on how to deal with this kind of musibah situation. And then, let me give a few examples. So Allah said in the Quran, Allah said, "Wama ma asaba min musibatin fil ardi wala fi anfusikum illa fi kitabim min qabli an nabraha inna dhalika 'ala Allah yasir." Allah said that whatever happened, whatever musibah that fall upon the earth or ourselves is actually already being recorded in the book of Allah before it happened. And it is very easy for Allah to do it. From this verse, there's actually two things to learn. First, there are two types of musibah. The first musibah that could happen without our there's musibah that we can do something about it, and there's musibah that we could not do anything about it. For example, there's a earthquake. Earthquake. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, right? But there are situations where the authorities have given warning that there might be a tsunami, and then you still decide to go to the beach to take to sunbath. I don't know, to go to the beach, and then you say that this is the plan of Allah. This is part of Allah. Allah decided, and you are wrong because this musibah happened because you put yourself into that kind of situation. So there's actually these two types of musibah. And if we look at the Quran, there's also a situation where the musibah happened to the companions when during the Uhud, the war of Uhud, when they leave the position on the Jabal where the Prophet told them to stay put in their position, and then they refused to listen to the instruction of the Prophet, and then the musibah fall upon them. And this kind of musibah happened because of their own fault. First one is musibah that happened because of our own wrongdoing, and second musibah happened even though we do nothing, we still being inflicted with the musibah. So then, okay, the first one we could avoid, the second one we could not avoid. But how to stay positive? We should realize that the musibah that is being inflicted upon us is actually has already planned before we even know about it. Allah has planned already everything already. We have nothing to worry about. You know, like I said earlier, we fear for what we don't know. You know? When we don't know what will happen, we fear. Just like the musibah, we don't know what will happen in the future. We think that we get unemployed. We don't know what will happen to us. Can we get enough money to support our family? When we get bad CGPA, then we are worried. Will we be able to get a job? Then we are worried because we do not know what is the future. And then this is the fear. But we need to remember that Allah has planned already. Ma kataballahu lana, I will say, ma asaba musibatin fil ardi wala fi anfusikum illa fi kitabim min qabli an nabraha. Inna dhalika 'ala Allah yasir. Allah has planned everything before it happened. And then in another verse, Allah mentioned, "Wa ma asaba musibatin fil wa ma asaba musibatin illa bi idznillah." Wa ma wa'fu wallah. Sorry, I don't remember the verse. I will say that in the verse, I will say that Allah, whatever musibah happened to us is actually happened with the permission of Allah. Whatever happened, Allah decide allow it to be happen. And then Allah said, "Wa man yu'min billahi yahdi qalbah." Whoever believe in Allah, Allah will guide him. Allah will put guidance in their heart. And then, wallahu ala kulli shay'in alim. Allah knows everything. You know, just like Allah planned everything. Surely He knows everything. He knows how we should deal with it. But then some people, when they are facing difficulties, they are running away from Allah. Where in fact, we should get back to Allah. You know? Just like how during the examination, the lecturers, they create the exam. They know the answer. They know which topic should be given focus to. When they give tips or how to deal with this kind of situation, exam, but then we don't trust them. We turn to other sources because we don't think that this source is reliable, and that is where the situation turns wrong. So I think we should realize that whatever musibah happened is already in plan. Allah has planned everything. We don't have to worry. And then let us look at how Allah teach the Prophet to say about this thing to musyrikin. When the musyrikin, they love and happy to have a look when the Prophet and his companion are being put in bad musibah. But when good thing happen, they are being very, very unhappy about it. And then Allah said to the Prophet, "Qul la yusibana illa ma kataballahu lana wa maulana wa 'ala Allahi falyatawakkalul mu'minun." O Prophet, tell them that nothing will happen to you except what Allah has determined to happen to you. And Allah wa maulana, and He is our protector. He is the protector of us, the protector of the believers. And wa 'ala Allahi falyatawakkalul mu'minun, and Allah is the only place for Muslim to surrender themselves. So this is actually very important for us to realize that whenever something bad happens, we should realize that Allah is something. Alright, I hope that's answered. That's how you should be able to stay positive, by realizing that Allah has planned everything. Allah is the one who will guide you throughout your difficult situation. Right. Thank you.
Okay, mashallah. Alright. I think I would like to highlight here. I like the point that you point out. Allah has planned everything. Everything happen. It falls nicely. Right. So we don't have to worry. The thing that we fear. Right. So yeah. Actually, how to actually moving forward. When life gets hard. So how to be strong actually.
Right. So I think the question is how to get strength. I think this is a very important question, because even me myself, sometimes when we face difficult trials, situation, we tend to be dejected. We feel demotivated. I think that is normal. Everyone feels the same situation. Even the Prophet sometimes feels dejected. I think it's very normal. But we shouldn't. First, I would say that the situation is not wrong. To be sad, to be angry is not wrong. You should realize that first. You should acknowledge that as human being, that is very normal. And then how to get our strength back. And then I think I've been saying this a lot of time. And the only answer is to get back to Allah. Because, okay, I think the answer for this is actually already being mentioned in the Surah Al-Ankabut. At the end of almost at the end, I'm not sure that at the verse 41, Allah mentioned, Allah give a parable to the human being on how to deal with this situation. Allah said in Surah Al-Ankabut verse 41, Allah said, "Masalul ladzina takhadhu min dunillahi awliya kamasalil ankabut takhadha baita." The parable of people who take other than Allah as their protector, as if the spider creating its house. And then, wa inna awhanal buyuti la baitul ankabut, and the weakest form of house is the house of spider. And then I believe everyone knows the house spiders punya sarang, where the house is created, right? And lau kanu ya'lamun, if only they know about it. So like I said earlier, when we are facing difficulties, we try to divert our attention to other things. We are lucky because we are in IIUM. We don't have our access to our I would say we are safe because our environment is quite good. But to certain people, when they are having difficulties, some people are going to drinking, drink the club. They are finding women to release their tension. And, they're doing a lot of things, which in fact does not help them. Does not help them at all. But they are trying to find solution to cater for their problems. And this is what Allah is trying to say. If they are finding other solution than Allah, then they are as if trying to build a spider's house. It is house is we build house because we want to protect ourselves from extreme weather, from rainy days, sunny days, sometimes typhoon might occur, anything. And then we sit out inside the house so that we don't have to face this kind of situation. Basically, the house is to protect ourselves. But Allah trying to say that the only house that could protect us is Allah. The only protection that we could get to save ourselves from this kind of situation is the protection of Allah. But if we are trying to find other solution, and it is as if we are trying to create a house, we are living in the house of the spider, which is very, very unsafe, very, very unstrong, and it can be destroyed with a single slab, and I don't know. And then I think this is one of the answer that Allah is trying to say. Whenever a bad thing happens, never and ever try to find other solution other than Allah. Sometimes people are questioning when I've never missed my prayer, I never miss my fasting, and then why the bad things keeps happening to me? My friend never pray, and then he still have a lot of money. He can travel around, he can go shopping, and he never need to worry about all those things. But then if we look at the beginning of the surah, Allah mentioned that those people have their own judgment. They have made the worst decision that they think that by not praying they can save from Allah, but no, they have made the worst decision possible. And then I think how to get strength is to get back to Allah. How to get back strength to Allah? To repair, connect ourselves Allah. Make a lot of prayer. Never miss a prayer. I would like to remind everyone. I know everyone is here is praying, but sometimes keep remind our friends and our relative never miss prayer because it is the pillars of our strength. Even though sometimes we never feel khusyuk in the prayer, but it's okay. But it is a source of strength. When we remove that pillars from ourselves, then we have nothing. We have the house of Ankabut, the house of spider. We have nothing. So I think the best way is to get back to Allah. And additional how to to connect with Allah, I think one of the best way is to learn the Quran, because the Quran is the kalamullah, where Allah teach us, Allah guide us on how to be a better person, how to deal with our life, and how to live our life successfully. And then another interesting is, when we talk about trials and difficulties, people's are having their own definition of success. You know, when we are saying that these people are successful, these people are not successful, we are looking at certain criteria. Having big house, having good job means that you are successful. Your life is good, but that is not true, because if you look at the prophet, the best person in our religion, the prophet, he told, and then if at his time, will we consider that he is a successful person? Oh no, we will consider that he is a failure. He failed in his life. But that's not the truth. That's not how Islam perceives our success. So I think in order for us to get the strength, we need to realize. I think it's related to your second or third question, I'm not sure, on how to not be envy or jealous with other people's success. Is not by realizing that the definition of success. So we need to find what is Islam said about success. What is the criteria of success according to Islam? So I think in order to get strength, okay, let's sum up a little bit. I think in order to get the strength, I think the best way is to get better Allah. I think that's the question.
MashaAllah. So it's very inspiring words from our chairperson. So thank you. I think there is a question from our friend. Oh, by the way, let me check. Alright. Oh, I'm going to read. Samad, MashaAllah, may Allah bless you all. May Allah ease Izati Hisham. Back on track, go back to Allah. Izati Hisham. MashaAllah, great sharing. Brother Wanta, share it story. MashaAllah. Alright. Everything happened according to Allah planning. Yeah. Alright. So there's a question, I think. Okay. From Syarik Swaibi, in your point of view, is it hard to do online learning in this pandemic? If yes, how to overcome it? So maybe this question will be last one.
All right. I'm not sure. I think it is for some people it is difficult. Okay, this is even though it is not relatable to our topic, but I try to address this question. I think that to conduct online classes during this pandemic is quite it is difficult. We don't deny that, but it is the issue might be on. No, there are certain issues, but I think it is still doable, and I think UIA has made a good decision and has made a very wonderful guideline. I think as for me, I think it is nothing wrong, but I think the assessment need to be adjusted a little bit. I don't know. I think everything seems okay, nothing wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So everyone is struggling right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, from Amir
Okay.
Farhan, any situation Islam have answer. MashaAllah, yes. So from Amir Farhan, do you have any tips on how student can stay focused when they need to face 3 to 5 online class in a day during ERTL?
Allah.
Nak tahu juga pandangan chairperson council department saya.
How to stay focused? I think to stay focused depend on the people. Some people are very familiar with online platforms, so they can focus more. But for me myself, I'm not familiar with online platform, so it will be a little bit difficult. And I don't know other people, but I think people need to learn how to adapt, and I think that is what human best at. We are good in adapting to a new situation. So I think it will be difficult in the few days to adapt with the new environment, but I think that it won't be any problem. How to do it depend on the individual. Maybe you need food to stay focused. I don't know. Maybe you need to wash your face to stay focused, or maybe you need to do light exercise to stay focused. I don't know. Everyone have different style, so I think they need to find what the best method to stay focused. But I think that's all. I hope everyone can commit to the online class, study hard, and perform well this semester despite all this situation.
InsyaAllah. Amin, amin, amin. Alright. So our time is up right now. Thank you.
Nisha, before we end, can I make a conclusion remark?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I think okay. So when we're talking about the trials and difficulties, sometimes we are worried. We worry that we are not able to to successfully overcome the situation. But I would say that sometimes I personally I'm worried that I might fail in my test, in this life test. It might make me fear. But then there's always one verse that comfort my heart, in Surah An-Najmi. I would like to share this with everyone. I hope this can benefit you guys as well. In Surah An-Najm, Allah mentioned, وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى. Allah mentioned, and for those people, they are not going to be judged other than their effort. I mean, like everyone, وَأَلَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. إِلَّا مَا سَعَى mean like accept their effort. I mean, we are not going to be judged based on our performance, no, based on our result. We are going to be judged based. Yes, everyone have different tests because everyone is unique, but we need to remember that Allah's test is comprehensive. He will judge each individual individually. Mean, Anisha, you will be judged based on your trial, and I'll be judged based on my trial. And what is more interesting is that Allah will not judge based on our result. Let's say if you fail your, I don't know, let's say I'm failing my university, then for in Allah's eye, it is not a failure because Allah does not measure our life based on result. He measures based on our effort. If let's say I've done all my best in my life, and then still I get into that point of life, that point of situation, then it is the best for me. And Allah said, وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى, and his effort will be seen, will be shown in the day of judgment. Allah will show our effort and not our result. So when we are having difficulties and trials, I would like to say that it is okay not to target, not to aim too high. Just try to live through the obstacles. Just live to go through the trials. We live to live, not live to get a certain standard of life. Just live and be happy with whatever you have. When something turns bad, when life gets very hard, just know that Allah will evaluate your effort and not your result. So you don't have to worry much about your result. Just put your effort. As long as you have your effort, then inshallah you are in the right track, and put Allah beside you. I think that's all.
Allah evaluate your effort but not your result. MashaAllah. There's beautiful words from Wanta. So we conclude. Thank you to all of you who are joining us today. I hope that us, and of course motivation for us actually, right? So Alhamdulillah, thank you for joining us. I think we should stop here. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys are not following yet, it's IFIC social media on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram platform. Please do so because we have a many input to be shared to all of you. Inshallah, I hope that it will be beneficial for you guys. Inshallah. So I hope you guys are doing well.